And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio in our 1.0 series. I've refactored this a little bit. I snooched these over one. So I scooched them over, and I added this. This is the water well mod, a vital mod in my opinion. These are a really long craft, 20 seconds to craft these, and so manually crafting them is extremely painful. So I just set up a little system here, and as you can see, I had to kind of reconnoiter a lot of this stuff. So they use circuits, which are right here. They use gears, which pull from this iron, and they use pipe and steel. So all of that stuff was right in here, and I managed to make it work. So this one is pulling gears like this. This one's pulling iron over. And this one, as you can see, is going sideways. It's being put on this angle over here. Very, very helpful. That's the Bob's adjustable inserters. Vital. It's such a vital mod. It's so nice making nice systems like this and squeaking in as much production as you can. I originally wanted to maybe do it over here. This is why this is out and over. I was thinking about taking this steel and moving it, but I can only go 7 squares with the red undergrounds, and it wouldn't have worked. So I redid this. Obviously, these are all set up. We have each one of these is putting on outside and inside of the belt, so it works out. This is really unnecessary. I don't really need that very much at all. I can just go ahead and put a lot of those in there using the distribution mod. Just control and click and drag, and it evenly distributes things and stuff that you may need. So I'm going to take half of those, shift right click. So all of these, I don't really need any of these right now. I mean, lights are nice. We have quite a few lights. Getting everything lit up. I mean, it takes some power. If you can see, it takes quite a bit of power as the lights turn on at night. So, you know, our power draw it's tickling when we're in full production mode. It really goes a long ways. So we gotta think about power too. Now, obviously, the 400 of these are done, and you may think, oh man, that's a lot of turrets. Well, that's not very many turrets at all. Once we start getting all this stuff factored out, it's going to be a lot. So I have handcrafted some oil refineries and some chemical plants by hand for now. We'll probably automate those down the road a little bit. I'm going to grab some more miners. And I've got a recycling, got a few reverse factories, recycling factories. Doesn't really matter where you put these, but I'm going to try to put these down here a little ways. Maybe right in here. So like right. These are actually the reverse factory 2s, which allow you to reverse stuff a little bit better. I will not worry about this setup right now because we got bigger fish to fry. We want to start in on oil. And, you know, our pollution cloud right now is manageable. But it will soon not be. So, yeah. I'm thinking a wall. Oh, I'd love to encase these, but they're really close. We got plenty of copper in our base right now. So, yeah, I'm thinking a wall from here up to here will protect that. This I definitely want to have on me. Oh, look at these resources up here. Oh, it's beautiful. All right, now rail. I'm thinking rail. We're probably going to want somewhere in here. Nice area. The only thing is this stone up here. We're going to want to be able to mine that in some way, shape, or form. So rail, we want to get rail automated sooner rather than later because this stuff it takes a while to build up. Make 2 at a time. You use stone, steel, and iron. So here's our steel right here. Stone is right down here. How much of that? See, you only have 1.8 million stone left. Believe it or not, that's not a lot of stone left in there. That will deplete rather quickly. We have this 27 million and this 7 million down here. That's a long ways for stone to run. So this little empty gap that I have right in here, I will probably use that for a rail drop-off system. Somewhere before the, before the bus is a great spot for dropping stuff off. And then you can just have, we'll eventually have like an iron outpost, a copper outpost, a steel outpost, and all of that material will be funneled into our base. And so you gotta think long term. How you want to organize all of this? So I don't want to use any of this space down here. So I'm going to come up here and say, this is probably a good spot right in here. We have access to steel and iron, and so we're going to want to grab more crafter. Whoa, I don't have any. Okay, I guess I don't have any. I'm gonna need some. I need some radar coverage up there. Okay, let's grab some of those. So rail is relatively simple. You do that, you do that. This will be the iron stick. This will be the actual rail, like so. I want some steel to come in right in here. Perfect. Let's go backwards with this as much as possible. It's not a huge draw of steel. You're not going to use thousands upon thousands, but you want some decent amounts here. All right, so this is iron coming in. There's your iron sticks, like so. And then you need stone, and stone is right down here. What we can do is we can just borrow this stone, come up right in here, like so. Whoa! Do that, put some of my miscellaneous stuff away. That pulls from that side. And we want rail. And we want rail to be wired. And I want rail to be limited to quite a lot. You can drag this, let's say like 500. It's a lot, but we're gonna use a lot of rail eventually. Let's see, best place to connect power. Like up there. Okay, so we want steel to come in, like so. And it used my steel that I had in there. So one thing we could do is we could say this, I want to place and pick on the corners. See how much faster that is? It's super fast. The tighter you can make that, the better. So one thing you can do, I mean, this, it works. It works really well. And this will stop at 500 rail. So we're gonna grab one set here. Let's put a light over there so we can see it. One thing you could do, if you don't quite remember, as your base gets bigger, one thing you can do with your map, okay, let's turn off pollution. One thing you can do with your map is set icons. So if I right click here, I can say this is rail, and we can set the icon to rail. confirm, and there you go. You have an icon on your map as to where stuff is. And so over here, I can say this is going to be our mall, and it doesn't really matter what you use for that, but I'm going to make something a little bit easy to see. And so that's our mall. And we have all the things over here. All right, so the other rail items that we need to grab or to automate are these things down here. Train stops, signals, definitely, and chain signals. These two are going to be easy. This one, not so much, because it uses steel, and I've already maxed out everything here. I would have to refactor all of this in order to make that work, and I really don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do for two of these things at least is we're going to set this to be chain signals and rail signals, because both things are right here. So these I can copy and paste right here, and there we go. Both of those items are now in there. I can copy this and say you and you. So let's put these down here. Let's put these here. And we're going to set this to rail signal. Okay, and this to rail chain signal. And I will definitely explain what the difference is between those two. And I'm not going to leave you hanging. So let's see. There and there. Okay, so those two things are ready to go. We don't need them super fast, so it's fine that it's not constant production. They'll just craft and build. Okay, so train stations, you don't really have to automate these, but it's definitely nice to have them automated down the road. So I guess we will go ahead and do that. We want pipe or rods and this. So this is going to get some iron, rods, and let's do Control V and Shift scroll wheel. Okay. Oh, we don't need that. Iron and rod and circuits and rods and power. So the last thing we need over here is steel. And you know, steel is way over here. So how are we going to run steel? Well, I think we're just going to have to get creative with this here. Can I... Yeah, see, this is going to be... Well, we have steel right here, as a matter of fact. Look at that. We do have steel right here. Glorious. So, if I run it along here, that would work. Okay, and let's take this, and you're going to be right there. Bingo. So now I'll hit Control V, Shift scroll wheel, and good to go there. Put that last one there, and you, and make this the train stop. And again, we don't need super duper fast amounts of throughput here. So as long as they're automated, you're pretty good. Get that stuff automated. That way you don't have to wrestle with the game. You can just basically click things that you need and good to go. Let me explain this one really quick. So these are underground pipe. These are straight pipe. It takes 10 pipe to make a set of underground pipe. So I have 2 pipe makers on this. Once this is full, because you don't need nearly as many of these pipe to grounds as you need regular pipe, and they're a nightmare to make. So yeah, these automated is good. So once this hits 150, it triggers this to say, hey, I am greater than or equal to 150. I can start filling this chest. So you can, you can use circuitry. I wanted to show a little bit of circuitry involved here. And this is just going to take this and push them over to here. Now this is set to less than 400. Which is, I need to do that. Otherwise this would stop, or this would start feeding, and this would just feed this and fill this entire chest up. So this has to have the same gate as this one over here. And that was pretty easy to do. All right. Whew. So, rail. I want to, you don't need to build the system out. You don't need to get all fancy with it. But I want to set where the rail is going to be. That way I don't build over top of it needlessly. So we're going to go down here. This is going to be our oil center down here. So where do we want rail? Let's look at the map. Rail, I think that stone is kind of a nightmare, but rail I think can be right in here. Right basically in here. So I like to do, and again, there are near infinite ways that you can set up your rail system. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up rail here. And then I want to offset it 1, 2, put that there. There's 2 gaps in between. We could even do another one if we wanted to. Do I want a 3 gap or just a 2 gap? I think a 2 gap is probably going to be enough. To prototype this, let's do over here. Really? Okay, so this is not, it's not going to like that. So 3 gap looks like that's where it's at. There are so many different ways of doing this. See, sometimes it leaves one of these and sometimes it doesn't. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 here. Now see, that worked. So if I go out like this, and I go out like this, that's a gap, 1, 2. Now let's see if that can link up. Yeah, see, that's not, it doesn't like that at all. I know I had a blueprint system for this. That lines up there. One, two, three. See, that's not lining up. This is, it used to be that you'd be able to place the curves manually, but they are doing a different system now. See, there's that one in the middle there, and that's what I want to attach to, but I can't. I have to attach it like that, and that does not connect, I don't think. Well, it does. Okay. So we're going to go out this way. 1, 2, there. So this one to there. This one to there, to there. And then this. See, if I connect it to this one here, it doesn't work. Amazingly, it doesn't work. Let's see if I can find a blueprint a simple blueprint that I use for this. I mean, it's been a while since I've set up a system like this. So, blueprints is B. Let's see. I have track circle right here. Right there. See, I knew it was 2 across. There's my track circle blueprint right there. So yeah, it is 2 across there. I don't know why I couldn't get that to work. So yeah, I don't know. Deconstruction planner, get rid of all that. Oh, shift click all of those. Okay. So I know two across, or a gap of 2 will work, right? I know that for a fact. And so these original 2 that I placed here is going to be my line. So I can just click this and just go up and up and up and up. Up, 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 up. Oh, that one's blocked. Like that. Let me grab some more rail. Whoa, that was 1100 rail. Oh, yeah. I forgot to tie that in. Oops. That was my bad. That was a derp right there. That's what that was. Rail. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a little closer. Okay, we're going to want to connect this up with that. So that should be 500, right? So we can then set these. And that's right. Okay, so at least, that almost filled that up. But we're going to go through a lot of rail. Eventually, we're going to go through a ton of rail. But I wanted to get something set up to show where my rail is going to be placed. That way, I don't end up building in front of it and messing up any sort of potential savings. If you build in front of your rail, then you got to rebuild everything, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm going to borrow this power, and we're going to go. I'm just clicking and dragging. I'm just holding the mouse button down, and it's automatically placing those at their furthest distance, because I need some light down here in order to get all this stuff up and running. I need some light and some power and all of that kind of good stuff. I guess we had power like right here, so that's a thing. All right, well, we're about to set up some oil, but that's gonna, it's gonna be a bit. I'd like to do this during the day, so I'm gonna end the episode here, and then when the day comes around, we can start to set up your fundamental oil. And this, again, I want to reiterate, this is the point of the game. I think a lot of people feel discouraged because there's a lot of stuff all at once that you need to tackle. You need to tackle your pollution cloud at this point in the game and manage that. You need to tackle a lot of oil products, and depending on how you go, you can either tackle military science, but I do not suggest tackling military science until you have a defense system in place, because that is going to consume a vast amount of resources. And so you're going to be having your copper, your iron, your steel, coal, your brick, and your stone all running full blast in order to feed the military science. It's crazy how much your pollution cloud will grow at that point. So you want to make sure you have some defenses in the workup in order to get that up and running. And we don't. So I'm gonna get oil up and running, and we are going to then, let that system quiet down a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna get some steel here. You can see my steel really is being used a lot. Hey, look at that. We have our engines, 2.4 thousand engines done. Beautiful. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode, and I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.